Hi friends, this Sunday is the first Sunday in the season of Lent. And Lent marks the 40 days leading up to Easter, where traditionally the church has fasted in order to prepare for the feast of Easter Day. Now, while we might not practice fasting like more liturgical traditions do, Lent is still a time when we're invited to take stock of the habits, rhythms, preoccupations, and maybe even addictions that hold us fast, that keep us from finding and resting in our identity as beloved children of God. It helps us take stock of things that steal our freedom and make us less rather than more human. And so in order to help you through this season of Lent, this year for the next few weeks leading up to Easter, we're going to focus on practices of detachment. So each week we'll offer you a different practice to consider making a part of your life. We'll explore fasting, silence, solitude, submission, and simplicity. And we're going to do this by inviting you to visit our website and watch videos posted there each week. And we'll nudge you every Sunday to take a look. I want to add that the expectation is not that you would add all of these practices to your life if you haven't tried them yet. The invitation is to watch the videos, consider the practical ways that you can engage what is being offered, and just do what you're able to do. Do what brings you life. The point of these practices is not to add things to your to-do list, but respond to Jesus' invitation to freedom and life. Now, these might not be the trendiest of practices because it's not easy to fast. It's not easy to be by ourselves, to sit in silence, to submit to others, and to say no to our consumer culture. But these practices have the potential to detach us from things that, good in themselves, might be keeping us from the life God has for us. Why don't I explain this with a story? Take a look at this picture. And after you notice that beautiful pudgy monster baby who is my firstborn and whose cheeks look like they are about to pop, I want you to notice the white blanket with the satin edge at the bottom of that picture. That is my oldest son, Brennan's first baby blankie. We received it as a gift while Brennan and I were still in the hospital from some dear friends. And almost from the beginning, Brennan loved that blankie. He loved the silky edge. It was warm and cozy. And little by little, he created quite an attachment to it. He walked around with it. He fell asleep with it. It went everywhere we went, including Disney World. Over time, I began to feel like that blanket followed us around like a bad habit. We had to have it everywhere we went, and a couple of times we thought we had lost it. The panic that ensued, it was like a comfy, cozy ball and chain attached to our proverbial family ankle. Now, the worst part was that not long after he was born, Brennan began to suck the satin edges of that blankie, and it began to stink. And because it stunk, it had to be washed regularly. And because it got washed regularly, it got threadbare and matted and stringy. And over time, that thoughtful, soft gift became this. Yes, this is his blankie. Gross. And yes, I still have it over 20 years later because I'm a mom, okay? We also have the potential to ruin good gifts when we become too attached to them. We wreck things that were meant to be good when instead of enjoying them, we grasp them, we cling to them, and they become something that we need rather than something that we enjoy. They control us instead of us having them under control. Habits, possessions, relationships, rhythms, expectations, recognition, all of these things can become ways that we self-soothe, like Brennan with a blanket, telling ourselves that security, comfort, and love come from the gift rather than the giver. And the practices of detachment help us enjoy the gifts we are given rather than be controlled by them. They put these things back in their rightful place. Becoming too attached to things also potentially keeps us from being the person we were created to be. Can you imagine if Brennan had not relinquished that blankie and still had to carry it around with him? To work on the construction site, off to university classes, to the gym to get swole, cuddled next to him along with his wife at night? It would get a little weird. It would probably get in the way of him being the worker, the friend, and the husband that he should be. The disciplines of detachment give us space to grow. They give us freedom. They allow us to become the people we were meant to be, to rest in the freedom that our identity is beloved and that security is given us by God and cannot be taken away. They help us to let go so that we can attach to Jesus. So for the next few weeks, consider what it is that you might fast from that could lead you to greater freedom. Or do you need to make space for silence or solitude in your life? Do you need to practice submission or learn simplicity? Let's explore this together. One final note about these disciplines. They can hurt. They can be hard, but they're not hard because God wants us to feel pain, but rather because, like addicts, detaching from things that we are really attached to can be painful. But at the end, this pain is meant to give us life, to bring freedom, to bring joy. What a great way to prepare for Easter, for resurrection.